So as we get into your back leg, you can see your toes inside, which is good. This is a good job. Wow, that's really good. There we go. So your lower half is great. Grab it right here. Off of your back hip. 87 degrees. That is a solid. If you can keep this up, that 87 degree squat, that is great. See what I mean?
Yeah.
That is solid. That's very, very, very good. So that's perfect. I don't want to mess with anything lower half, and that's a great thing to have. The next one we're going to worry about is this extension. Tim Lincecum was 133 degrees. Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah.
So 116 is beautiful. I mean, that's great. That's a great extension with your hips. That's solid. That's really, really good. So no issues there. You're planting really, really well. So I really don't think it's those two things. Let's look at your back hip or back foot, what it does. Do you notice what's happening around the foot? Let's watch here.
Kind of drags.
It's dragging forward, which is good. It's not bad. But your knee, your back knee is coming in, and you want it going out so you can rotate your hips.
Okay.
So that hip rotation needs to continue to happen, and the back leg is what's going to give the counterweight. That back leg is affecting this chest, and I'll show you where the chest is. We get into the front knee now. This is the external rotation of your front knee. So you plant. Let's look at this knee. See how long this takes. Your knee moves almost 10 degrees. What does that mean? Your hips, your back hip will not rotate until this knee gets over your ankle.
Just more time.
Exactly. So it's taking more time with your front knee. If this front knee is solidified and you're doing it better, your hips are going to rotate faster, your chest is going to rotate faster, your elbow is going to rotate faster, wrist, everything's sped up. But this is your break, so you need this. This is good. It's not bad, but it just needs to be in a 10-degree difference. I mean, it comes down to really like inches. So here's the other one. So that's something that we need to work on for sure.
Okay.
It's very minimal, but it will make a big difference. This one right here off of your front knee, you're at 141 degrees. That's beautiful, okay? Anything above 130 degrees is actually pretty good. And what happens is this, and this, you'll understand this relationship. As the front knee comes back, what happens to the chest?
Goes off a
Yeah.
little bit.
Do you see how there's a reciprocal action here?
Mm-hmm.
This is the brake and it retracts, and then this is the gas. In order to have really symmetry and almost like you're catapulting something, you're going to have braking and accelerating. Which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool how the physics work like that. So that front knee is what we've got to get open a little bit faster, so your hips can rotate. Okay, we're done with the lower body. Now we've got getting into, I got to get into launch too. Launch out of this is pretty good. It's right over that toe, which is good. This is what we would call close to a late launch. This is almost like marginal. Right over that front toe is marginal. This would be a early launch, not what we want. We want a late launch. The further you are out in front, the harder you're going to throw. So that's just where you throw. And all of these factors, the factor of the front knee, the factor of the chest, the factor of this back leg, all of these play into that release point. It's all of these affect it. Okay, so it's little by little we'll get better. Now let's get into upper body. So let's get into your posture. at release point, this is what I would call almost a C posture. Okay, this would be like a B, and this would be like an A. Greg Maddox, Cliff Lee, Tim Lincecum, way over here, CC Sabathia.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is when you're here, where does your head have to go? It has to rotate 52 degrees.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So notice when we were throwing on the line how you felt when you put your head back a little bit. We minimized that 52 to maybe 25, maybe 30 by 20 degrees. You're talking maybe a foot. If you cut that in half, all of a sudden you're going to locate more strikes. You're going to rotate better around your body. All these great things happen. So remember that you're a C posture when you're throwing.
Okay.
Coach will say something, and you can be like, okay. And then just remember your C posture, okay? So we want to minimize that 52. Next time we do this, or you send me video of it, we compare to see if we improved, as opposed to how much.
Exactly.
So, okay, so that's the head tilt.
So like with that, what would...
Okay, so front glove. We're going to look at front glove. Front glove is really, really good. Let's look at your front glove. Front glove's going to pinch. You're really driving that front glove, and it's staying there, rotating in. I don't see a problem with it. We just want to make sure that this glove is helping you rotate and not taking back from your rotation. So it is a firm front glove. It stays there, and you're rotating around that front glove, which is pretty good. I would say that I'd like to continue to rotate on this axis. See how your arm comes around there? And this arm is down a little bit. If this could be more even, so bringing this glove up just a little bit, more of a pinch up here as in down there. You do an early pinch, but then just keep rotating.
Okay.
And then this chest can come through, drive through. I'm being picky as hell. Okay. So that's going to help. Okay. Just a little bit of that tweaking is going to help you rotate a little bit better. So that's front glove. I wouldn't say it's a huge issue, but it's something that you can work on for sure. So front glove, firm front glove. We're going to look at your chest. Okay. So your relationship of your chest to your elbow. This is what we call elevated elbow, both shoulders, about 183 degrees. So as you rotate into it, we measure both of your shoulders, and we measure your elbow off of that, the relationship to your shoulders, okay? The more that stays connected, the less shoulder drag you'll have, elbow drag, all of that. The more disconnected the elbow is, the more wear and tear you have on your labrum, your rotator cuff, your bicep tendon, everything. So I want to be at 180. So you're about 3 degrees above elevated, which is not anything crazy, okay? I'd say something if it was like 190 or 170 down. So that looks pretty good. You're staying connected. So let's look into your chest extension. Chest extension at release point. Looks pretty good. Go off of your hip to your chest. This is pretty good. So 46 degrees, Granke's at like 52. Bowers at like 48. So that extension here is pretty good, but I think it's going to be the relationship of this knee and that chest. So when these become more in sync, that's more of that tempo and timing. That's going to really help you. So I don't see an issue with the chest extension. So let's look at the chest even more. But did you see what happened to your back leg?
Still there.
It's still there. So this back leg is really taking away from that chest drive.
All right.
Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Where you're
Almost like slowing me down.
Yeah, you want to go with your chest, but then you don't have anything to counterweight that back leg to be able to drive, right? It's like punching someone in the face, boxing without a back leg.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It takes a lot out of it.
So you're saying its bending should be fully extended, or
If you could stay somewhere in here,
yeah,
just right there for 2 or 3
yeah,
seconds. I mean, we're talking like a short amount of time. Hold it. Once you release the ball, who cares? Boom, boom, boom. Everything happens. But we just want to delay everything a little bit longer. You see how that knee starts creeping up, because that foot is actually off the ground. And as soon as front glove, chest extension. I want to look at one last thing. This is what we call a acromial line. Right here, you separate your hands a little bit early.
he's been told that.
And what happens to this is your arm is continuing to go behind your back. It's not crazy. I don't care about the wrist. What I care about is 2 joints from the spine. So the elbow is what I'm looking at. I don't see it's crazy. Here's what I see. I see your ability. That looks freaking phenomenal. See how it's straight?
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be loose. Down. So watch where your arm goes. It goes down early. So if you can keep this connected and look at where your upper body's going, stacking, right? Doing a good job, knees inside. If you kept that arm bent instead of straight, what would happen to this arm back in here? You wouldn't even see your hand. See how you just
I'm
keep
like
it bent.
Here.
It's not like we're changing a bunch. I just want you to just stay bent.
Okay.
Stay loose, because I don't want them to see a ball. That's one time that they get to see it.
Yeah.
2, from the back behind your head. And 3rd time. So they get 3 times that they get to see the ball. You want them to see it once. 1 time, that's that. Once it comes out of your hand. So if you can hide this ball a little bit by stacking and staying back and keeping your elbow bent, you're going to not cross your acromial line as much. Also, notice where your chest is. Tilted, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you stayed up in here, you wouldn't see the arm.
Okay.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Just keeping it loose behind. I'm not going to say change it a bunch, but just try to hold on to it a little bit longer.
So are you saying like